everyone, this is an Annie guide. This video will include abilities, masteries, matchup, item order, pros and cons. Firstly, without taking up much of your time, you must definitely watch this video until the end. It's already going to be a short, informative video. Now let's together take a look at the pros and cons of Annie. And now talk about pros. Easy to pick up, good AoE, contribute with CC and damage, can one-shot ADCs, good harass. And now cons. Low range on abilities compared to other mages. Low mobility, low to no escape unless flash is up. The skill cap is very low on Annie, weak if falling behind. Electrocute. Electrocute is super good for bursting down enemies. It's basically identical to the old Thunderlords. Basic attacks and abilities generate stacks on enemy champions hit, up to 1 per attack or cast. Applying 3 stacks to a target within a 3-second period causes them to be struck by lightning, dealing them attack damage. Cheap Shot. Cheap Shot works both in the laning phase, and stunning people is something that you will do all the time. It also does more damage than Sudden Impact due to the nerfs of Sudden Impact. However, I think that Taste of Blood is crucial for sustain in the lane. Eyeball Collection. Here I think it's just a matter of personal preference. Eyeball Collection works a little bit like a Dark Seal or Magi's Soul Stealer, if you will. Except that you don't lose your stacks. Zombie Ward is overall a good rune that you can consider. It raises a zombie ward that lasts a 180 when you destroy a ward or when your own ward expire. I do, however, see no reason to take Ghost Poro, since Zombie Ward is better by far. Relentless Hunter. Gives amazing roam possibilities and dodging abilities. Ingenious Hunter is a poor choice and is currently not a good choice for most champions. Ultimate Hunter, however, is a rune to consider. It has good potential that could give you lower cooldown on your ultimate, which is very good since Tibbers is really strong due to the new buffs to Annie. Depending on the opponent's situation and the game's composition, you can make these selections. You can choose Dark Seal, Refillable Potion, and Stealth Ward as your starting items. After 5 minutes, first back for your early item pick, you can go for Lost Chapter, Boots, Hextech Alternator. Up to 20 minutes, you can consider purchasing Luden's Tempest, Sorcerer's Shoes, and Shadow Flame. For your full build, after getting a Rabadon's Death Cap recently, you can continue with Zhonya's Hourglass and Void Staff. This is a passive ability, Pyromania. After casting 4 abilities, Annie's next damaging ability, Stun Icon, stuns enemies, it damages second. This is a Q ability, Disintegrate. Annie hurls a mana-infused fireball, dealing damage and refunding the mana cost if it destroys the target. Deals 80, 115, 150, 185, 220, plus 180% ability power, magic damage. Mana cost and half the cooldown are refunded if Disintegrate kills the target. This is a W ability. Incinerate. Annie casts a blazing cone of fire, dealing damage to all enemies in the area. Casts a cone of fire, dealing magic damage to all enemies in the area. Incinerate can be used to stun multiple enemies at once, since it is an AoE ability. Can, for example, go through Wind Wall. Great for clearing waves of minions. Gives an instant stun to target in the cone, similar to Summon Tibbers. This is an E ability, Molten Shield grants. Annie and Tibbers increased percentage damage resist and damages enemies who attack with basic attacks. Annie grants herself and Tibbers 16, 22, 28, 34, 40% damage reduction for 3 seconds while the shield is active. Enemies who basic attack it take 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, plugs and 20% ability power. Magic damage. This is a ultimate, Summon Tibbers. Annie wills her bear Tibbers to life, dealing damage to units in the area. Tibbers can attack and also burns enemies that stand near him. Summons Tibbers, dealing 150, 275, 400, plus under 65% ability power, magic damage to enemies in the target area. For the next 45 seconds, Tibbers burns nearby enemies for 10, 15, 20, 110% ability power per second, and attacks for 50, 75, 100, plus 0 as magic damage. Annie can control Tibbers by reactivating this ability. Tibbers enrages when summoned. Annie uses Pyromania on an enemy champion, and when Annie dies. Enrages. Tibbers gains 275% attack speed and 100% movement speed, decaying over 3 seconds.